A new front may be opening, this time in Europe. Iran has issued a direct warning to Germany, Britain and France after they signaled readiness to take defensive action against Iranian missile launch capabilities. Tehran says any such move would be treated as an act of war.
This would be an act of war. Any such act against Iran would be regarded as complicity with the aggressors.
The warning comes as a drone strike hit a British military base in Cyprus. European nationals are scrambling to leave the region as the conflict widens, and questions are now being raised about whether Europe could be drawn directly into the war. Iran's foreign ministry spokesman Esmaeil Baqaei delivered a blunt message. Speaking on Monday, Baqaei said any European action to destroy Iran's missile launch capabilities would be regarded as complicity with aggressors. This would be an act of war. Any such act against Iran would be regarded as an act of war against Iran.
This would be an act of war. Any such act against Iran would be regarded as complicity with the aggressors. It would be regarded as an act of war against Iran. Defensive is synonym for offensive. Doesn't make sense. Do they want to deprive Iran of its capability and capacity to fight back against the aggressors? That would be a shame if these countries take sides with the aggressors. They have already done enough against Iran.
The statement followed comments from Germany, France and the United Kingdom, who said they could take proportionate defensive action to neutralize Iranian missile and drone launch sites. The exchange marks a sharp diplomatic escalation between Tehran and key European powers. The warning came hours after a drone strike hit the runway at the British military base in Akrotiri, located in Cyprus. Cypriot President Nikos Christodoulides confirmed the strike occurred at 12:03 a.m. on Monday. The incident prompted Cyprus to cancel an informal meeting of European affairs ministers scheduled later that day. Cyprus currently holds the rotating presidency of the European Union. Officials cited the unanticipated development and disruption to flights as the reason for cancellation. The British base at Akrotiri is technically a British overseas territory, legally distinct from both Cyprus and NATO. Security assessments suggest Iran's long-range missiles could potentially reach parts of southeastern Europe. Countries such as Greece, Bulgaria and Romania fall within theoretical range. Meanwhile, the Iran-backed group Hezbollah in Lebanon could target Cyprus. However, Iran has notably avoided firing at Turkey, a NATO member state. That restraint has led some analysts to suggest Tehran may still be seeking de-escalation channels, possibly through Turkish mediation. But the risks to European soil are now openly discussed. Cyprus isn't a NATO member, but it falls under the European Union's Mutual Defence Clause, a treaty that obliges member states to act if one is attacked. The European Commission confirmed Monday that the clause hasn't been formally discussed yet, but the legal framework exists. With the threat of further strikes on EU-linked territory, pressure is mounting on Brussels to take collective action. As Israel and the US press their operations against Iran, Tehran is drawing red lines for Europe. A drone has already struck a British installation in the eastern Mediterranean, and tens of thousands of European nationals are evacuating. What was once a Middle East battlefield is now pressing against Europe's strategic perimeter, raising the stakes for the continent and signaling that the conflict could escalate far beyond its original borders.
Sirens tore through the air at the United Kingdom's RAF Akrotiri airbase in Cyprus shortly after midday on Monday, according to Cyprus state broadcaster CWIB, a stark warning that danger was close. The alert came just hours after the strategically critical base was reportedly struck by an unmanned drone. Live footage showed the urgency unfolding in real time, sirens blaring across the facility as aircraft thundered into the sky from the base near Limassol. fighter jets scrambled under the shadow of a rapidly escalating crisis. Earlier in the day, powerful explosions were reported over RAF Akrotiri, a key Royal Air Force installation that hosts around 2,000 British personnel and their families. British officials believe an Iranian drone hit the base hours after Tehran launched 2 ballistic missiles towards Cyprus. Those missiles fell into the sea and did not cause damage, according to UK authorities. Personnel at the base were instructed to remain indoors, stay away from windows, and take cover beneath solid furniture as Royal Air Force jets scrambled overnight to secure the airspace. The UK Ministry of Defence has not released detailed damage assessments, but confirmed heightened security measures remain in place. According to UK Defence Secretary John Healey, Iran had fired 2 missiles towards Cyprus earlier on Sunday. At the time, officials said they could not confirm whether British military installations were the intended targets. The latest developments appear to indicate that RAF Akrotiri may now have been directly affected. RAF Akrotiri is one of Britain's most strategically important overseas bases. It supports UK forces stationed in Cyprus and functions as a forward operating hub for missions across the Middle East. Its location makes it central to Britain's regional air operations and logistics network. The incident comes amid broader regional escalation following US and Israeli strikes on Iran. The British government has maintained that it has not participated in those joint operations. However, British fighter jets did intercept and shoot down an Iranian drone heading toward Qatar a day earlier. The unfolding crisis has put intense pressure on Prime Minister Keir Starmer, forcing him into an increasingly precarious balancing act, trying to steer the United Kingdom away from direct involvement in attacks on Iran, while still vowing to uphold regional stability and honor long-standing security commitments to allied nations.
Over the last 2 days, Iran has launched sustained attacks across the region at countries who did not attack them. They've hit airports and hotels where British citizens are staying. This is clearly a dangerous situation. We have at least 200,000 British citizens in the region, residents, families on holiday, and those in transit. I ask all our people in the region to please register your presence and follow Foreign Office travel advice. I know this is a deeply worrying time, and we will continue to do all we can to support you. Our armed forces, who are located across the region, are also being put at risk by Iran's actions. Yesterday, Iran hit a military base in Bahrain, narrowly missing British personnel. The death of the supreme leader will not stop Iran from launching these strikes. Their approach is becoming even more reckless and more dangerous to